Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm going to wait maybe 2-3 minutes to see if anyone is going to jump. And then we're going to start from here. So we are today going to talk a little bit about our class, our course, which is Managing Information Systems. Are we in the right class? Yes? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I see people jumping. We'll have more peers joining us. Are we all in the US or do we have anyone outside the US in this moment? We are all in the US. Okay, perfect. Now, let me ask you a question. Do we have access already to the book? Do you guys have the book already? Okay, perfect. So you can go into the bookshelf. Perfect, perfect. Okay, great. If you're having any issues with that, please let me know. I want you to feel prepared with all the tools to move forward with the class. And then if you're having issues with your material, please let me know so then I can help you out with that. Awesome. So I'm going to wait 1 more minute and then I'm going to take from here. Anyone has any question? No? We're good? Perfect. So... Okay, awesome. Let's start. So hi, everyone. My name is Isabel Tridel. I believe that some of you watched already the first video that I uploaded. So you can tell from my accent, I'm a foreign person, born and raised in Colombia. I am a product design engineer and I have a master in business. In Colombia, I used to work with the Colombian government and I started my own business in the biomedical field. So I used to design prosthetics for soldiers there in Colombia. Then I moved here to the US. I wanted to do like higher education. So I came here, I wanted to improve my English and I started my master. When I started my master, I met someone in the airplane who was sitting next to me and then that guy became my husband a couple of years later. So yes, that's a story. I have a story to tell. 5 hours in an airplane talking to this guy and then yes, and then we have a daughter. So currently I am teaching at FITM, but besides teaching at FITM, I'm also starting my business and I'm also volunteer, an active volunteer with the United Nations Association. Amor, vida. So I can hear you everything. Yes. So as you can see, Zoom Live, you have all these people co-working. You just take one room. Okay, so then that's my husband, the one that I met in the airplane. And besides, as I said, besides being at FITM, I'm starting my own business. I also am an active volunteer with the United Nations Associations. I've been advising them. I'm a national council member. So then I advise them into big topics, education and young engagement. And I've been working a lot also with human trafficking and ending child marriage here in the Southern California area. So what is this class about? I know you know a lot about me. So in this class, it's about hands-on learning and applying systems. So how that works? I know when we talk about managing information systems, it sounds really weird. So what is all of this about? But it's really basic. We are using systems every single day. We are using data every single day. But in order to use that data, you need the proper platforms to do that. And then you need the proper input and the proper output, which is when you analyze the information and then you give the meaning. So that's exactly what it is. So then we need to have this balance, this strata between people, systems, and then the technology. So then we can find the balance that we need for our business. Our first activity is finding information. So then that's an activity that is going to be a bonus. If you want to do it, you can go ahead and it's going to show you in real life how some information is easier to grasp and another one is not that easy. So that's what is going to happen in real life. In real life, when you're starting a business, when you're working with the government, you need to gather data, you need to gather information. But in order to do that, so you need to start being creative. Do you have the knowledge? Do you know someone? Can you network? Can you use secondary sources? Do you need to create a primary sources in order to do that? And that's exactly what we're gonna learn with this class. Moving forward, the class, since this is the business, we are starting the business focus, we're gonna use APA format. This is not MLA format. The business school use a different formatting than the human field, which is MLA. And I know all of you guys are really familiar with MLA, but I'm gonna provide some examples. I'm gonna provide some templates. And I want you to become familiar with that specific formatting because it's really critical for our class. And if you're doing higher education, like if you're doing a master, you're gonna need it. If you're gonna do a PhD, a postdoc, you're gonna need that. Another thing that is key and critical here is plagiarism. So whenever you're doing research, it's really important to have the proper citation. Where are you getting this information? So here we're not gonna create data from scratch because that's really time consuming and it costs money, those two things. So then we're just gonna take the data that is already there. So we're gonna go online and we're gonna research. But whenever you're doing that, you need to cite it properly. So then that's another big portion of this. How the class is gonna be laid out. The class is gonna be laid out that we're gonna have two different fronts. One is gonna be an individual, you as a person, and another one, you as a group, how you work as a group. So as a person, you're gonna have different assignments that you can demonstrate your knowledge, your experience, and the way that you're able to find the data and understand the data and the information that is presented. Putting your own arguments, your knowledge, and your experience. So for that, we're gonna have weekly discussions. You're gonna be the leader of a weekly discussion. For the weekly discussion, you're gonna be moderating 3 questions. So you have a topic, you go online, you read about it, you give us your arguments, you present the data, you present charts, graphics, and then you're gonna generate 3 questions for your peers to answer. Your role as a leader is to engage the conversation. Try to be provocative, try to bring something that is really gonna spark the conversation and is gonna bring the knowledge into a different level. That's your goal. As a person who is participating, is expected for you to be active and participate. So then some of my biggest advice here is like try to combine 2 bigger fronts. One is your experience and the other one is the knowledge, something that you can find and grasp. Let's say, for example, we are asking something and you don't know about it. So then you can go online, you can find in journals, you can find the information, and then you need to interpret that information, giving the meaning. How are you gonna give the meaning? You're gonna give the meaning like telling us about an example from the real world, telling us like, as we read about how data is important, or data can make a company make the wrong decisions if it's not well interpreted. A case in this, it will be blah, 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 blah. And then you can tell us the case and then you cite your sources and so on. Or you can even say it, like I'm currently working at X shop, yeah? And in this shop, the way that we do inventory, we have a human portion that sometimes commits a lot of errors. So then we have a system that is supports doing this. And then that's really beneficial. It's beneficial for you because you know what is happening, you know it's real. For your peers, is able to grasp something in reality. So then those are the 2 fronts. Remember, one is the theory, what we can read, what we can find, but then the second one is how we're gonna apply it. So then we apply it in the real world. So then for that, you can bring any case from any company that you know, you read or you research, or you can even involve your own experience. So then those are the 2 biggest fronts that I'm asking. So then again, moving forward as a person, you're also gonna be analyzing cases. So then those are gonna be our case analysis. In the business school, all business schools across the world, we always learn from someone else. So then what we do is that we research and then we have cases analysis from current companies and past companies. And then we analyze their failures. There you go. I'm here, I'm back. I'm back. Can you hear me? Are you good? Perfect. There you go. So we analyze the good and we analyze the bad. Why? Because we want to learn. So if they're doing something good, maybe we can copy, maybe we can replicate that. If they're doing something bad, we want to avoid that. And then we want to learn from their mistakes. So then that's another way that you're going to do it. You're going to evaluate the case analysis. You are going to find them in the book. As I mentioned, if you don't have the book, if you don't have the resources, please email me so then I can provide the information for now so that you can start working on. And then finally, we're going to have something really important that is going to be the product plan, which is the signature assignment. So then with the signature assignment, we're going to apply everything. And we're going to create an extension of a product from a company that exists. I'm asking you to use a company that is real. I'm asking you for a company that is public trade, so then it's someone that we can find data. Like if you're starting your business, let's don't do it with that one. Maybe you can extrapolate the knowledge that you're gonna gain in this class to your own company later. But for now, we really need to learn with someone that has already all the information laid out there and is available. So you're gonna pick a company that you like, that you feel comfortable, that you feel passionate about. You need to enjoy this. So then it's a brand that you like, take that brand. And then you're gonna get together with two or three other members. So then we're gonna have max of 4 people. Why we're doing it in group, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because here and in real life, you have those 2 fronts. You need to operate as a person, but also you need to operate as a team member. So as a team member, we also know we balance our weaknesses, and then we learn to communicate with people. We learn to build with their ideas, and then we can collaborate better. So then the idea here is also to help you with the workload. As you're gonna see, you're gonna have a lot of work that you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be doing your case analysis. You're gonna be doing the discussions. You're gonna be doing other classes. So then in order to balance that, then you're gonna be able to balance that with other peers who are gonna support your work. So then at this point, it's really critical, really important to understand how you're gonna organize, how you're gonna create, and how you're gonna use systems to communicate, to create the report, to avoid overlapping information that doesn't have a flow, that is not coherent. So then that's even the other way, how you are actually going to incorporate the system variable into this group project. So then again, we're going to move forward into our product plan, which is going to be the signature assignment. That's going to have 4 parts. It's going to be the opportunity, it's going to be the strategy, it's going to be questions, finding informations, and then conclusions. After that, you're gonna upload it. You're gonna you're gonna upload it for the final, and then you're gonna be able to critique or to analyze. I don't like that word critiquing. Let's say you're gonna give a feedback. You're gonna provide feedback about someone else's work, and then that's gonna be it. That's our class. I'm gonna have additionally, I'm gonna have some bonus, some kind of extra credit activities in case that you wanna boost your grade. So I'm gonna have a mind map. I'm gonna have, as I said, defining information, final presentation. If you actually wanna pitch your product plan and you wanna boost your idea, that's an option. And there is also gonna be a final case analysis that is optional, because I know at this point we're polishing, you have a lot of things juggling with this class and other classes. So then there is another option to do something in case that you want it and you need it, but if not, it's okay. So then that's for now. I want to create, and I'm going to create another session that I'm going to go more in detail with the product extension. So then we can talk about each part, how you develop each part, and then how you're going to start uploading each portion. So then that's it. That's how our class is going to work. And now I want to open to the floor, to see if you have any questions, and then I can answer and take from here. You see? Yeah, there we go. So then I saw Kennedy Larson.
Okay. You were talking about group projects. Did you say 3 people or 4?
It could be max 4. So that's the max. These are range. So it could be 2. And for my experience, and I have seen it, I have taught this class, and not just even here, I also taught in Colombia. So I have experience teaching. So then I have seen students that they can work really well on their own. I have seen that, and they prefer that. However, what we're also trying here to show you guys is that sometimes you need to learn to work in teams, and I'm saying it is because that's the reality now in a workplace. In a workplace, sometimes you don't want to, but you have to. And it's a big learning experience. So then that's one opportunity. This is a safe space, a safe environment to learn and to polish those skills. Then the other thing, as I said, it will help you with the load balance, because you're going to start seeing that you have a lot of things. So then you need to be really strategic and learning how you're going to split the work. But still, even though you're splitting it, you also need to be strategic to put it together so it makes sense. Sometimes I also have encountered that. I have some product plans that there is no cohesion. It's not a cohesive plan, because you can tell that the parties, they were not talking inside. So then you can see that they are overlapping, they are contradicting, and then there is no flow. And then again, that also happens in the workplace. So then that's the other thing that we're going to learn, how we are actually going to put something together that is cohesive and we're all working in a unity. So then that's basically for what it is. And then of course you're going to be graded in that level. If we have a product extension that has 2 people and then another one that has 4, the 4 needs to show more in-depth analysis and more, the outcome should be like something, you know, that is more extensive and robust because of the quantity. In a way, even though I have to admit, I have seen projects that is 1 person and is really comprehensive versus 4 people that is not that. And that's, again, that's also reality. But that's an invitation for all of you guys to start working in that level. Okay? Does it make sense, Kennedy?
Yeah, I also was just wondering how many group projects approximately will we have?
What does that mean? Can you ask me that in a different way?
How many projects will we have that are group?
No, only you only select one group. You only select one group because
Okay.
you're going to do one product plan, and that product plan. So then, whatever is your group that you select, you're going to work with that group till the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just select one group, and then for that group, let's say for example, you select Lululemon. That's you know, examples that some students have done. So then with the Lululemon, let's say for example, and then again, this is something that it was done last quarter. They did a special bra, you know, for Lululemon, kind of extending that, and then you decided that there is a good opportunity. And then you're going to move from the opportunity, from the strategy, then you're moving for the questions, finding information, conclusions, and then you're going to have the whole package of saying, this is also important, guys. This is a product plan. This is not a business plan. A business plan is more comprehensive. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just something that you're just starting to explore. If you have the money and if you have the time, because you have the skills as a company, you will move forward and it makes sense. Okay.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Perfect. So then remember, max 4 people. And then I know I got this question from someone. I am not going to be assigning or randomly assigning. At this point, I want to give you guys your freedom on that. So then you can actually connect internally. As you know, Canvas has great tools. So then you can, even when you're reading the introduction, that's also another way. And I kind of like that. When you read the introductions of your peers, you can actually start getting a sense from them. So then you feel more connection with someone for what they said, for the feel, for the things that they like or they dislike. You can actually contact them and say, hey, do you have a group? You know, I would like to work with you and blah, blah, blah. So then that's actually how we network. That's the power of networking. And then with an introduction, you can move from there. Yep. I know Lolo has, that's how, do I pronounce your name?
Yeah,
Lolo?
yeah, it's a nickname, but
Okay.
yeah, my question is around the discussion posts. For instance, the one that we are supposed to post by Friday, do you have like a hard deadline to post that by Friday? Is it like Tuesday night, 11:59?
Yes, yes, and it's 11:50, 50.
Okay.
And then the reason why, and I'm gonna tell you why deadlines are like that. Deadlines have 2 things. One, even for real life, you need actually to set up a deadlines, otherwise things are not gonna happen. And I'm telling you this because I'm being in the academia, private sector, and NGOs, and if you don't have a deadline, people don't move and they don't do things. And also, it's thinking on your peers. If you're a leader and then you haven't posted, your peers are gonna be waiting for you. So you're gonna be a bottleneck, yeah?
Okay.
So I also want to avoid the bottlenecks.
Yeah.
So then that's I'm gonna send you a list where you have your topic. So then you're gonna be in advance, and then that's a list that the system is gonna assign things randomly. So then, for example, the list will say, Lolo, you will be week 7. So then you will be the leader by week 7, and then you have to be prepared, and then your peers will be posting on that. What happened, and I'm gonna tell you because I've been already there. It could happen many things. One, it could happen that the discussion was assigned to someone and that person dropped the class. Yep. So then let's say, for example, we see the deadline and then we don't see anything being posted. Then what will we do? Now I want to ask that question. What would you do in that situation? No one is posting. You're still waiting. You're like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? And I hear a silence. Okay, let me tell you guys, let's put this in reality. You're working in your business, things need to be done. Nothing is happening. What should we do? Someone needs to do something. So that's when it starts the proactiveness. Someone can say, I'm gonna answer the question. What I understand from the error or the difference between we will have 100% of the information when we are making decisions. This is what I understand, blah, 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 blah. So then again, that's a good practice. And I have seen that in some students that they just take the lead because they are natural leaders. So then they take the lead and they start like, you know, they posting, kind of saying the person is not there. It could be because the person dropped. It could be because the person forgot. I also have that case that sometimes people forget that it was their time. And then the other one, which I also had that case, is when the person posts something that has nothing to do. You got an assignment, you got a question that you don't even understand it. So then again, there are ways of working that around. So then how would you, again, you're like working with a client or with a vendor, and then you're not able to communicate. That's even showing that barrier of communication. So then you need to clarify. So then you try to contact the person, you try to do it directly, then you escalate the case, which actually in that case that happened to me, you know, students internally, they were trying to contact the person was not responsive. Then the students escalated, you know, and then we took from there. So then again, is translate this like in a working environment. How will we face this? If of course you have any problems, and this is something that I always tell my students, because things happen, you get sick, you're having internal problems, you know, and I don't want to go here into details. Please send me an email. That's also really important. And this is not just for this class, this is for anything in life. If something is happening, it's important for you to communicate. You are not able to meet your deadlines. Please let me know and let your peers or whoever is involved know what is happening. So then we can help you. So then if I know something is happening, I can of course extend the deadlines. I don't have problems with that, but I need to know what is happening. Not just deadlines are done and then 2 weeks later you say like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so behind. That's my bad. Can I just do things right now? And then the question is like, why you were behind? You know, do you have an excuse? Is this something that is health related? Is this something that is personal? Or because I also want to be fair with everyone. You know, I know all of you guys are working. I know all of you have different classes, and then I'm trying to grade you with the same level. So I don't want to show that imbalance when I'm grading to people. I really want to be fair, but I also want to consider if there is something extraordinary, something different that is affecting you. I also want to put that in consideration. But it's important for us and for me to know what is happening so I can help you. Does it make sense, Lolo?
Yeah, definitely. And then just to compound upon that, are the topics always based on the readings that you give us, chapter readings? Just because if it's, you know, given to us on Wednesday, we have to post by Tuesday night, 11:50.
Not really, because that's the beauty of this. You can actually, and as I mentioned, you can actually use both. You
Okay.
can use the book, but not necessarily just the book. You can actually take the topic and take it from a different, and take a different approach. That's completely open. And then you can actually even do the research using external sources, using internet, using journals, yes. So not necessary. The book is one tool, but it's not the only tool.
Okay.
The book is not gonna have all the answers, okay?
Lastly, when we do sightings in our discussion post, do you want it to be APA now?
Hopefully, yes. It is
Okay.
not mandatory, but it's a good practice. It will start training you. It will start training you so you start getting more engraved. So then, yes. The other one, and then thanks, Lolo, for reminding me, guys, we need to stand up. We need to make the difference. When you're making a post, and I'm saying it because I've been teaching, I can tell who is who by the way they post. When I'm reading something, I start learning about that person. And I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I find some posts that they are so plain, so basic. It's like I keep reading 5 posts and they're like all similar. They're all the same. This is exactly the same thing when you're in the workplace. You're talking to your peers. You're talking to your boss. How are you gonna stand out? They're asking one question and you need to answer it. How are you gonna answer it? Think about different ways. Think about different avenues. Think out of the box. That's actually what we need in the world right now. We need actually great thinkers. We need people that really come up with different things, not just what is staying the 4 or 5 lines that are in the book or that you found online. And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm gonna share an example with you guys. I've been with posts that they are exactly the same, you know, exactly the same. So then, is it bad? No, but it's something that is actually, is not giving you the advantage. It's not showing you who you really are. So what I want you here, and this is an invitation to all of you, is to run the extra mile. So you have the theory, you'll find it online, that's okay. But then what are you gonna do with that information? I can go online and read that. Anyone can read that. That's actually the power of internet. Internet is giving us access to anything. So then the question is, what are you gonna do once you have that knowledge? How are you gonna escalate that? How are you gonna move that forward? That's what it really matters. So then that's what you want you to think about. When you're like addressing those weekly discussions, take it there, move it. Yep, does it make sense, Lolo, with that? And use images, use videos. I think as you see, like for me, I always think, oh my God, sometimes you're dying with a paragraph that is like, Do you like long things? Not always. Bigger is better. Not always, because it's the longest is the best, not always. But sometimes it is more, it has like good content. So then try to think the same thing. When you're reading a post, when you're reading a blog, sometimes you find a blog that is really long and has nothing. Sometimes it's a blog that even though it's long, you are engaged and you keep reading. So think about that. Sometimes that blog also has videos, has links, has connections, has images. It has an infographic. So think about those type of elements that it will add that extra flavor to your post. Yep. Awesome. Any more questions? No. Yes. I see Alexandra. Are you raising your hand?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, there you go. It is because of the lighting. So then with the lighting,
exactly.
sometimes I have students that they're kind of stretching and they're like, oh, no, not me.
Just so I understand this, it sounds like you're mostly grading us on the way that we're critically thinking about these topics. Is that correct?
That's actually a great question. And that is something that in any class, that's what we're looking for. So we're looking for to find that extra layer. Because remember, it's not always about learning the statistics, learning the data. Of course, it's important to know the ways, but then later, what are you gonna do with that? So then whenever you're doing any assignment, try to run the extra mile. So then yes, present your arguments. Yes, present the data that is giving the support. But after you have that, what is the meaning of that? Does it make sense? Like we have some findings, but then what are we gonna do with that? You know, this company found that 55 people are dying because of the recipe. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that an opportunity? Is that something that is letting us know that we need to change the business? Do we need to partner and collaborate with a different entity? Do we have wrong data? Look at even this one. Is that data accurate? So then again, those are the things that really make sense. Yeah, Alexandra?
Got it. No, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Yes, and then yes, critical thinking is something that it should be right now anywhere. People are looking for that, the critical thinking factor, because as I mentioned, a software, it gives you, it's a tool, yes, but at the end, you need an input and then you need to interpret that data. And then that's coming in your side. So then that's why we still need the human component. That's actually what we are not being able to replace the human component. Even though we still make errors, we still give the meaning of a lot of things. So that's why we're not being able to replace that, okay?
Great.
I think I saw another hand and then the hand kind of changed their mind. It's like, no, or was that answer? Oh, Kelly, is that you? Yeah.
Hi,
Kelly.
how are you?
Oh, Kelly, in your car. There you go. Where you are.
I had a question, and excuse me if I missed this.
That's okay. No worries.
So for the discussion board each week, will you be choosing the leader?
Yes, not
Okay.
me, like the system, but I will
Okay.
post a list. I will post a list, and then in that list you will see your name there.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Yeah. So then that's why just this week is just introductions, because
Okay.
also the first week the system needs to know who is enrolling, you know.
Perfect. Okay.
So then that will be sent to all of you guys, so then you know ahead. You could be the first one, you could be the last one. See it as an advantage. Like if you're the first one, you will say like, oh no, why me? See it. It's maybe good, because then you don't have a lot of things going on. You're still just starting. It's a fresh start. You don't have a lot of deadlines. So then that's an advantage. If you're the last one, oh, why me? Why me? Why me? Look at this one. You're learning from the rest of your peers. So then now you know what to do. Okay. So there are advantages of being the first one, being the last one. So try to put it in perspective. Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Anyone else? No? Think we're good. Think we're good, guys. Okay, so then if we're okay, as I mentioned it, please remember, communicate. Communication is key for anything. You're having problems, you're having issues, you cannot meet the deadlines, you need an extension. We can work that out, but I need your input beforehand. I cannot just do things 2 weeks later, like when things are past. So please communicate with me so I can work and then we can make this happen. The second one is find this as an opportunity. Again, I know it's not easy. This is being like really challenging for all of you. You're not being able to have that human contact, but try to find the good side, as I'm saying, put things in perspective. You know, this is also teaching us, this pandemic is giving us a lot of learning. You know, we need to learn about the real things that are important in life. So try to change our mindset and be really grateful for what we have. And then remember, I'm going to have another session that I'm going to be talking about the product plan, so then we can go more into detail. But for now, you can actually start working on your case analysis. You can start working in your introduction, and then you can start seeing, finding a team, someone that you can work with. Okay, does it sound good? Awesome. Okay, guys. So have a great weekend and then take care.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.